Hi guys, today I'm gonna make a video about the mechanized madness structure deck that came out about a year ago. Machina, it was the Machina deck that came out. It came out originally 10 years ago. It was a pretty big structure deck. And today I'm gonna make a profile for you guys with only 3 of these structure decks. I feel like this is one of the best structure decks that you can make with only the structure decks. Like for dinos, it's so pretty good, but you still need to get extra cards. For Salamangrates, you still need to get extra cards. I feel like this is a really good one where you only get the 30 ones. Now, let's get into the profile. So let's get into the profile. First, we're gonna have 3 Machina Citadel. It is a monster with 300 attack and 2,500 defense. And for its first effect, if this card is in the graveyard and an Earth Machine monster you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, and also if it destroys itself, it still counts. You could special summon this card from the graveyard. So a lot of the cards that destroy themselves, you could summon Citadel for free. Now, its secondary effect is actually really good. Quick effect, you could destroy 1 card you control and destroy it. Then destroy all monsters your opponent controls that has attack less or equal to the monster you destroyed. So if you would usually target Citadel, and all monsters with 3,000 attack or less would get destroyed. But let's say your opponent has cards that have less than that attack. You, like, maybe if it has 2,500, you would target maybe a Machina Fortress on your field. But usually you would target Citadel. So that's enough for Citadel boss monster. We're gonna go into our next card, Machina Aerator. Machina Aerator is effect, it's a 2,600 defense and 1,500 attack. You could discard 1 Machina monster, special summon this card. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, destroy this card. You could get 1 card in your deck that has a level equal or lower than this monster, so you could summon Fortress for free. And that's all you need to know. This card is good. It's not amazing, but it is a really good card. Now, next we're gonna go into Machina Irradiator. So Machina Irradiator is another card that's similar to Aerator, 2,400 defense and 1,700 attack, but it's literally the same summoning mechanic. You discard 1 Machina card, special summon this from the hand, but it is not a quick effect, but you can destroy this card and you could special summon 1 card from your graveyard with level equal or less than this card. So it is a really good card, and you can actually have, there's a combo you could do with Machina, what's that card called? Machina Possess Storage, which I will show you later in the video. And that's it for Machina Irradiator. Okay, next for our secondary boss monster, we have 1, 2, 3 of Machina Fortress. So Machina Fortress is a 2,500 attack monster, 1,600 defense, and it's you could discard machine monsters whose levels equal 8 in total. Well, it doesn't matter how many, as long as they all equal 8, you could special summon it. And its other effect, if this card is destroyed by battle, you could destroy 1 card your opponent controls, and also before resolving an opponent's monster's effect that targets this face-up card, look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card. So they have Ash Blossom or something like that, you could discard it. Hardly will come up, but still pretty good effect to have just in case. Now, we're gonna have in the deck one Jizukiru, the Star Destroying Kaiju. This is a 3,300 attack monster and 2,600. It isn't the best kaiju out there, but we got a kaiju nonetheless. And you know, if you have a kaiju, great for destroying your opponent's amazingly powerful monsters that are absolutely broken. So I have this in here for one main reason: Dragoon, because Dragoon cannot be targeted, and that gets really annoying. Dragoon just doesn't let you activate any effects. You cannot special summon because then he'll negate that too. And it gains 1,000 attack if it couldn't get any worse. So, to destroy it. And it's not really the best card to destroy because Machina Citadel can't use its effect because it does have more attack. But there are two ways to destroy. If you have Machina Fortress on the field, you could attack the monster, it'll get destroyed, and then its effect will activate, and you could destroy the kaiju. And that's why I only have one in this. It's not really the best card, but it is a kaiju, so it is really useful. Next, we're gonna have two Machina Possess Storage. It's a good card to have. You don't want 3 of it because you don't want a brick, because this card is useless if you don't have anything to revive or you already activate its effect. If you don't know, its effect is, if this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon any Machina monster in your graveyard in face up defense position. Also, you could get one Machina card on your field, add it back to hand, and you could destroy one spell or trap on your opponent's field. Wait, my bad. Return to hand, it's not destroyed. And it's really good, but you don't want to brick. It doesn't have the best stats. 1,600 attack and 1,500 defense isn't the best stats. Now, our Stratos for the deck. We got one of the best Machina cards that ever existed, Machina Gearframe. This card is actually really, really good. Definitely the best normal summon of the deck. So, what this does is you can add one Machina monster from your deck and add it to your hand as long as it's not Machina Gearframe. And if this card is on the field, you could target one monster you control and equip it to the monster, and if that monster would be destroyed, you destroy Gearframe instead. And it has a really good stat, 1,800. 1,800 is impressive for a card that has this good of an effect. This card is the best normal summon. There is no way you can't have 3 Machina Gearframe. Now, to wrap up the monsters, they gave us a way. Instead of giving us the spell card Foolish Burial, they gave us instead Scrap Recycler. But Scrap Recycler is kind of better for Machina's effect. So its effect is when this card is normal or special summoned, you could send one machine monster from your deck to graveyard. Once per turn, you can shuffle 2 level 4 monsters in your graveyard and draw one card. That second effect you won't really use too much because Scrap Recycler will probably be dead by then, since it has such a bad attack of 900 and 1,200 defense. But the reason you have it is to dump Citadel, which, if you don't remember, Citadel's from grave. If an Earth Machine monster you control is destroyed, special summon it. So it's really easy to summon it that way. Now, that's it for the monsters. Now for the spells, we have 3 Machina Redeployment. This is another new card that the deck got. You could activate one of these 2 effects, discard 1 card, and add 2 Machina monsters with different names from each other and add them to your hand. Or you could activate a second effect, discard 1 Machina card, and add 2 Machina cards with different names, and then add them to your deck. So basically, you could either discard 1 card. So if you don't have a Machina card, you could discard that and get the you could get it, but it's only monsters, which there is a card in here that is not a monster that is pretty good if you don't have the setup already. But the other one is actually really useful in those situations where you don't have any Machina Citadel dumps to graveyard. Really good spell. We're now at 3. Now, next for the spells, we're gonna get 3 Supply Squad. So this card is really good for the deck since a lot of cards destroy themselves. So once per turn, if a monster you control is destroyed by battle, you can draw a card, and it's not once per turn. It's like once per turn for the copy, but it's not once per turn as in the card. So if you only have 1 copy, it doesn't matter. 5 monsters are destroyed, you will only draw 1 card. But if you happen to be so lucky and get 3 Supply Squad, you activate them all, and if 1 monster is destroyed, you draw 3 cards. Really good. It's kind of a good Pot of Greed effect. Nothing bad. This is just a really good card to have in the deck, especially since a lot of the cards here get destroyed easily or destroy themselves. Now, we're gonna run 2 of Iron Draw. Iron Draw is pretty useful since this deck does combo a lot, but you do have to remember to activate this card. So basically what you do is if you have 2 machine effect monsters and no other monsters, draw 2 cards. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you can only special summon once. You can only activate this card once per turn. So it's Pot of Greed, but you need 2 monsters. You don't want to brick with it, but it is a good card to have. Now, I run 3 of this card. You might say that it's overkill, but I think overkill is just what you need to kill your opponent. 3 limiter removal. So this card doubles the attack of all machine monsters you control, but in the end phase of this turn, you destroy all of those monsters. So it is kind of a double-edged sword. So if you don't OTK, you're put in a bad situation. But luckily, the beefy cards in here, like Machina Citadel, go to 6,000 attack. And if you don't remember Citadel's effect, if you destroy it, if you have a big board, you activate limiter removal. Machina Citadel is now at 6,000, and there's not that many cards that go over 6,000 attack. 6,000 is really good, so you could destroy it. You're pretty much guaranteed to destroy all monsters on your opponent's field, unless if they have an effect negation or an Ash Blossom in their hand. But you know, $30 isn't gonna get you a competitive deck. This is as close as you're gonna get. So, really good for OTKs. This is a really good card. Now, for our final spells, we're gonna use 2 Cosmic Cyclone. It's really, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you already know what this card does. Pay 1,000 life points, target 1 spell or trap on your opponent's field, banish it. So this is honestly a really good card. 1,000 life points isn't the worst thing. You're not gonna die. It's not like Solemn Judgment. Sacrifice half your life points. It's in the beginning. It'll take 4,000 damage. That is kind of big. But it's a really good card, and especially for Mystic Mind players. Mystic Mind is such an annoying card to deal with, so knowing you could just banish it is really good. If you want to run 3 and take out one of the other cards in the deck, fine. But I personally think 2 is good, especially since it's a quick play spell. It's not like MST where it's not quick play. So for traps, we're gonna run 3 Machina Overdrive. This is the Machina card I was talking about. This Machina trap is It's really useful. You don't want to brick this card, but it is still useful. So you could target one machine monster you control, special summon one machine monster with a different name from your hand or deck. If you do, destroy the targeted monster. And so pretty much what you do is you would grab the card you got and destroy it, and then you could special summon Machina Citadel. And its other effect that might not come that much, but when this card is in your graveyard, you can target 3 machine monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, shuffle them back into the deck. Now and then you could draw 1 card. You could only use this effect in Machina Overdrive once per turn. So those cards that have graveyard effects, just kind of like it. And it is kind of slow since it is a trap, but still good card in my opinion. For the final 3 cards of the deck, the final traps, we're gonna have 3 Solemn Strike. This is the newest Solemn card. Definitely one of the best, if not the best, Solemn card. So this is basically when a monster would be special summoned or a monster effect is activated, pay 1,500 life points and negate the activation. If you do, destroy the card. So this card is actually pretty broken. Your opponent cannot activate their effects, and yeah, if you're against, this is all not actually a really good card for Dragoon too. Let's say you activate an effect, Dragoon activates an effect, and now it already uses effect, so it can't use it again since Dragoon's effect is only once per turn. And now you can activate it, destroy Dragoon, and you're done with that dirty card that should have been banned already. And that is it for a profile. Those are the cards I have for the card deck. Those are what I personally run. If you want to make some minor adjustments, go ahead. That's what I feel like is the best thing you could come up with the structure deck, but I would like to see some innovation. Now, let's go into the combos. Okay, hi guys. So, for the combos, for this combo, you're going to need Machina Redeployment, Machina Gear Frame. So first, you're going to normal summon a Machina Gear Frame, activate Machina Gear Frame's effect to add Machina Citadel. Now you're going to activate Machina Redeployment, activate Machina Citadel's effect, Machina Redeployment's effect, and send Machina Citadel to graveyard. Now, you're going to grab Machina Irradiator and Aerator. From there, you're going to activate Machina Irradiator's effect, special summon it by discarding Machina Aerator. Now, you're going to activate Machina Irradiator's effect, destroy it, special summon Machina Aerator, Citadel's effect will activate, special summon it, and this is the board you end off with. On your opponent's turn, you will destroy Machina Aerator since it is a quick effect, add Machina, now you will add Machina Possess Storage, and from there special summon either Aerator or Irradiator. Aerator does have a bigger defense, so you would special summon that, and this is the board you end off with. So for this combo, the second combo, it's the same cards, Machina Redeployment, Machina Gear Frame, but this time you want Machina Possess Storage in hand as well. So you start off the same, activate Machina Gear Frame, add Machina Citadel from the deck into the hand, activate Machina Redeployment, send Machina Citadel. Now you're gonna grab Irradiator and Aerator. Now you're gonna activate Irradiator's effect, special summon, discard it, not special summon, activate its effect, destroy, special summon Machina Aerator, Machina Citadel will be special summoned, but this time you're gonna destroy Machina Aerator, special summon Machina Fortress. So we're gonna go into here, special summon Machina Fortress, And this is the board you end off with. It is kind of different. But for the second part of the combo, I'm not sure if you want to call it a combo since it is a second turn. But I kind of like to call it a combo. So now you're going to normal summon, Machina Possess Storage, special summon, Machina Aerator. And you end up with a 5 board that looks like this. And then if you have limited removal in your hand, you could easily OTK. That is end for the video. I hope you guys had a good time watching this video. Goodbye.